Hey everybody, my name is Josh. I'm from the MUN Fall Prevention Society, and today we're going to work on some core exercises. Why core exercises? So basically, by working on your core, you work on strength and balance for this area, and then ultimately that improves balance and stability overall, ultimately reducing falls. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so we're just going to start by warming up our core and our abdominal muscles. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to grab a mat, so there's some cushion between you and the floor. Obviously, sitting comfortable is very important. But now we're going to start just by sitting up like this, and we're going to take our core and those transverse muscles, and we're just going to squeeze them backwards, just lean back a little bit, and then flex forward again. It's very easy just to start. You're just squeezing right here in your core. Hold it for a couple seconds if you can, and then you're pulling back. So we're just warming up here, nothing too extreme. So after you're warmed up like this a couple times, you're just gonna want to move out a little bit so you have enough room, and slowly just lie back. So when you're flat now, we're going to feel our core, and we're just going to tighten it and squeeze it all the way in as tight as we can, as far back as we can. So basically just pushing yourself right to the floor with those transverse muscles. Just tightening and releasing. We'll do this a couple times. And release. One more. Tighten. And release. Okay, so now that we've warmed up a little bit, we're just going to get into something a little more advanced. Nothing too serious though. So with our legs still bent, lying backwards, we're just going to lift one leg at a time, extend it all the way out, and crunch all the way in. If you have to grab the back of your thigh here just to pull it in a little bit more, you can. Just take your time and really warm up those core and abdomen muscles. So just do this a couple times with the right leg. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can put both hands behind your head, and while it's extended, you're lying down flat, and then when you flex it in, you flex up a little bit with your head. Not too far, because we don't want to round our back, but just enough so you get a little bit more out of this. So now we're going to do the same thing with the left leg. So you can bring your right one back and plant it, and just extend your left leg and flex it all the way in. So this is working on your lower abdominal muscles, your transverse abdominal muscles. Once again, we're just warming up. Pull it in, extend it. And same thing for this one, just make it a little bit more challenging. Put your hands behind your head. As you flex in, just lean up a little bit. And one more. Perfect. So we'll get into our last little warm up here. So still lying on your back with your legs bent. You're going to extend out one of your legs like the previous exercise, except this time, instead of flexing it towards yourself, you're just going to lift it up as high as you can. And back down. And again. And back down. One more time. And back down. Same thing for this one. If you want to make it a little bit more advanced, hands behind your head, and as you raise up, just crunch a little bit. So now we do the other leg. Again, just extend and raise. Take your time. At your own time. There's no rush with these exercises whatsoever. Same thing, just behind your head. Extension. And when you lift up, little crunch. When you're sitting back up, just be careful. Obviously, it's a little bit harder to get up than it is to get down. But that's everything for the little warm-ups we'll do. Next we'll look at just 2 or 3 more exercises to help strengthen your core. Okay, so now we're just going to work on our oblique muscles. So this exercise here, once again, you're just going to lower yourself very carefully, obviously. This one here is termed the penguin walk, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend our arms out as far as we can, and with our head on the mat, we're just going to reach for our heels and bring your legs in a little bit more to make it a little easier. You just turn in. You can lift your head up to make it a little bit more challenging. Obviously this is going to help with any neck stiffness and back stiffness as well, as we're just leaning from side to side and touching our fingertips off of our heels. You can do this as many times as you want. I like the rule of 12. You do 12 on each side, 10 on each side, anything like that. And then carefully back up again. So that's just a little exercise for obliques. Next we'll work on the plank and a couple modifications to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so this last little section of our video is just going over a couple plank modifications and other exercises involving the plank position. And this way you can work your whole abdominal, working on all aspects of your core, and still focusing on building that strength and that balance for better stability. So obviously first we're just going to do a regular plank. So you're going to come out like this, elongate, and up on your toes. Now this one's obviously a little bit more advanced. So if you do have to drop down to your knees, you certainly can. Still working on your core, it's just a little bit easier. And now in this position as well, we can also do what's called the Supermans, or the marching step, I guess. So basically for these, with your right hand, you're going to extend outwards, and at the same time you're going to lift your left leg up and push it back. Basically, right up, left down, and then left up, right up. So obviously take your time. This one's a little bit more advanced than the others. If you have to, you can lower yourself for a lower center of gravity to keep your balance a little bit more. And just do that a couple of times. The last one we're going to go over is just a side plank modification. Sorry. So basically, you're on your side. This will work on shoulder strength as well. So you glue your chin to your shoulder, and keep this leg on the mat, and then your top leg, you can extend it in, extend it out, or you can keep it static here. And then with your other arm, you can also go right up. And if you can make it past the 180 degree mark, certainly go ahead. So then the same thing for the other side, obviously. Elbow down, chin to the shoulder, bending at the leg. If you're in the side plank position, this is working on the obliques. You can extend this leg out, or keep it static. And then same thing, so you can go 90 degrees with the hand, 100 degrees if you can make it there, 180, and then back to a resting position. So those are just some core exercises, core warm-ups, core workouts to help you build ultimately strength and regain that stability in your core muscles. By working on your core, like I said in the beginning, it works on overall strength and balance, and by strengthening your core, you eliminate any problems with your back, your legs, stuff like that. So a more stable center obviously influences balance and stability overall. So that's everything I have for you today. Again, this can be done anytime, any place, anywhere. Just take your time and stay moving.